right, so I'm in my C8 ZR1 right now, but I wanted to give my quick thoughts on the C8 ZR1. And the reason why I wanted to give my quick thoughts on it was because a lot of people have seen the spy shots now. The spy shots for the C8 ZR1 at the Nurburgring. And my, oh my, does it look good. And yes, it's still in camo right now. Yes, it is still in camo. It's not the full colors. You know, no one's seen it in its normal colors yet. There's no press car really out there yet. You know, it's not there yet. But this thing is an absolute beauty. And we can see a lot of the differences that they've added to it, different than the C8 ZR6. Now, if you look at the standard ZR6, you can see that there's definitely not as many vents on it as there is the ZR1. The ZR1, they've added some vents for sure. And if you can look on the rear part of the C8 ZR1, they've added, I think, 4 new vents, 2 on each side, and they look good. They look good, but those vents aren't just for looks only. Those vents are actually functional. And what they do exactly, not fully sure yet, but my belief is it's channeling in air into that motor so that it can probably either help get some better intake into the turbos, which that's if it comes with turbos. Nobody knows yet. Or it's just for cooling, just to help cool the motor down. Who knows? Or, you know, to help, you know, cool down any other coolers, like oil coolers, trans coolers, you name it, whatever it is. I mean, airflow either helps for cooling or it helps for creating more horsepower by getting better air in. And when I say better, as in like air that isn't like superheated by exhaust or the engine or anything like that. So they have those extra, they have the extra inlets in there you can see on the back. Also to that rear wing that you can see on the back, it's a lot bigger than the standard ZR6 wing, or at least a ZR6 spoiler, but it's also a lot bigger than the standard ZR7 package spoiler, which only created about 734 pounds of downforce. Now this new wing that they have, who knows how much downforce it's actually going to create, but my guess is it's going to create over 1,000 pounds of downforce. That's my guess. I don't know. I don't have the details, but looking at the size of it and knowing how much downforce wings around that size produce, that would be my guess right there, that it's going to produce about 1,000 pounds of rear downforce. Once again, it's my guess. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. It might create more. It might create less. I don't see it create. I don't see it creating less for sure. But we'll have to see when it comes out. There's a lot of different talk of this car having twin turbos or going with the E-Rays front electric motors and having it all-wheel drive. It's been going back and forth. At first, everybody was in full belief that this thing was going to be the twin turbo version of the ZR6. And then just recently, there's been a lot of talk that it's not. Now, that it's now going to be an all-wheel drive variant of the ZR6, where it has the ZR6 motor, that LT6, which is now going to be the LT7. And then they also have the E-Ray electric motors on it too as well, which is kind of cool. I'm back and forth on which one I would rather do because I think both ideas are amazing. My only issue with the twin turbo V8, the flat plane crank V8, the only issue with that is traction, right? With all that horsepower that it's supposed to make, I think they're trying to make it like 850 horsepower or whatever. That's a lot of power, and even with this standard ZR6 right here with 670, this car grips really well at 670, but I could not imagine with almost 200 more horsepower, this thing gripping the same way, unless they figure out some magic with the suspension to make this thing grip out of the hole and also grip around corners when you put that foot down. So it's gonna be interesting to kind of see how they manage that. A lot of computer nannies to make sure you manage that. Now, that's if they go twin turbo. If they don't and they go all-wheel drive, I'm all for the all-wheel drive. I like all-wheel drive cars because you get all that grip and you can grip and rip out of the hole, whether you're drag racing, whether you're on the road course, you name it. Obviously, you know, every style you go with, whether it's rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, whatever, they all have their goods and they all have their bads, right? But all-wheel drive, for the most part, most people will say that, hey, it's like one of the best ways to go. Now, the most fun way to go is always rear-wheel drive because then you can slide the car around. But usually Typically, all-wheel drive cars are more rear-wheel drive, I would say heavy, so that you can get the weight transfer into the rear a lot better, which ends up allowing you to slide them pretty good too as well. You see a lot of Porsches out there nowadays sliding around in some other cars, which is kind of cool. Lambos, you name it. So honestly, I'm all for whatever direction they go. It's so hard for me to pick. I really like the twin turbo idea just because it's really cool. But as far as efficiency, I think that E-Ray electric motors up front doing all-wheel drive would definitely be super sick, especially with this really awesome, amazing 5.5 liter flat plane crank V8 that you can hear in the Z06, adding that along with those E-Ray electric motors. Just listen to this thing. Now, obviously, I'm not going crazy on the canyons. I wouldn't be able to talk and then go like high speed. And also, too, you don't want to go crazy fast on these canyons because you don't want to accidentally make any mistakes that cause you. But you know, going at a decent speed, just nice little fun little drive up the hill here. Honestly, going like 30 to 40 miles per hour pretty much the whole time. But the motor sounds good. That's the cool thing about this 5.5 liter flat plane crank. You don't even have to be going fast, and it sounds amazing. Like it sounds right now like I'm going 100 miles per hour around here, and I'm not. I'm nowhere near. I think I'm 20 miles per hour right now. But still, it sounds so good. Third gear right now. I didn't downshift to second, although I could. Probably the next sharp corner, I'll downshift down to second gear. There you go, second. And those downshifts are so crisp with this car. It sounds so good. You gotta love driving this car. It is one of the most amazing cars I have ever owned in my life. And you know what? It is the most amazing vehicle I've ever owned in my life. That's why I'm super excited about this ZR1 coming out, because it's gonna take it to the next level. I definitely plan on getting a ZR1. I just gotta go make some more money so I can do it, because I don't have that money right now. But you know, make some good moves in life, make some good business moves. You know, be smart, be intentional about what you do, and you can make the money to go do it as well. Hopefully the dealers out there are nice to folks, and hopefully there's plenty of dealers out there that have MSRP so that people can actually buy it at the price it was meant to be and be able to enjoy the vehicle. My sunset drive has now turned into an almost nighttime drive. But it's cool. I know this hill, so it's not too bad, and there's no one on it, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool, like kind of having it to yourself, almost. Last time I came on this hill, there was, I think I saw like maybe like 3 cars max, but they all just pulled over and let me by. They were going like extra slow because they wanted to watch the sunset. For me, I like listening to the motor sound instead of watching the sunset. Although from my 360 camera, you can watch all that fun stuff. That concludes this part of the drive, at least going uphill. If you're curious, maybe I'll go downhill too, I don't know.